You who saw the length of this video and thought, that's a good idea to watch this guy, Henning Pauli, talk about the Headrush Flex Prime for an extended period of time. And that's what we're doing. Because there's a lot to cover. Because Headrush, who used to be Avid and then InMusic took over, but before Avid, I don't know, it used to be the Avid thing, and they haven't been on my radar except many, many years ago, I did one of their modelers and filmed it for Thormann and thought that the interface was amazing, wasn't floored by the sounds, but many things have changed. And when I got the job to review the Flex Prime, I was like, oh, it's going to be so much work. And it is. It's been so much work. But I'm also so massively impressed with things they've done that everyone else should be doing. Period. So, first, we'll take it out of the box.
Tiny box on the floor, breathing life to my core. Wi-Fi magic in the air, connection so damn rare. Browser open, click away, sounds that drive my fears away. Rock to more rock, power surge, feel that head rush, pure and urge. Floorboard small, but way too loud. Turning knobbies with a proud signal clear like morning dew. Modern magic coming through. Tone so tight and rhythms bright. Shred the night, pure delight. From the bedroom to the stage, Headrush fills the empty page. I am getting a Headrush music rushing like a crush. Tiny wizard box of fire. Guitar tones take me higher. Hear the sound, the perfect blend. Modern magic never ends. Rock to more rock, feel the thrust. Getting lost in every strum.
So we got that done. Let's quickly look at a couple of product shots so you get the idea of the ins and outs and all that stuff, and a couple of sounds, but there's a lot more to cover, trust me. Okay, we'll go through the outside bits now before we go into the many inside bits. So that's what it looks like. And it is tiny. It is considerably tinier than the Line 6 Pod Go, which I like. The Pod Go takes the Helix idea and gives you less of it. Not just in a smaller package, but less processing power, can't have amp and cap, all that stuff separated. Here, all the Headrushes, the big one, the slightly less big one, and the tiny one, which is this, they have the same processing power. Everything is completely compatible. Only difference is it's tiny, and that means small. And you have less foot switches. And this thing for your foot is for baby feet. It works, trust me, it's metal, it's very, very worthy and, not worthy, worthy, the word is, you can stomp on it. 3 foot switches, you can push these together to go to the next rig. You have colors showing you what's happening, and right now on this one, I have my rhythm sound, I have my lead sound, so those two are scenes to not have to go to the next whole rig. Within the rig, you're turning things on and off. And then here, this will turn the tape echo on and off. You can see this right there. Individually. So you can program these to do many things. Hold this in, goes to the tuner. You can mute the tuner, and so on. Now there are different rigs that I can switch to. Bam! Now I'm on this rig. Now I'm on this rig. Okay? So you can change what they're showing you. Now we've got the stomps again with the scenes. And the other alternative would be hybrid. next rig, previous rig, and then you've got one, let's say, scene that you can access. So depending on how you want to use it, you can configure that. It also says setlist. There is a setlist mode where you say, you know what, for this gig, I need this rig, this rig, this rig, and so on. So you make a whole list and then you step through them up and down. So you don't have to think about it. You just play your next bit in the song, go up, go up, go up, go up. Very straightforward. We're going to go to stop mode again. And then there's, and then we've got looper, which gets us to the looper. Should we really go there and show you it's a freaking looper? Start, stop, blah, blah, blah. Can't show you everything. It's got a looper. Be happy about that piece of information. Which means, wait, I can show you the setlist mode. That means here we're holding that. And now we're in setlist mode. And you have previous and next. 3 foot switches, but a multitude of functionality. Got a main volume, which is always nice that you can grab shit. And then you've got this enter thingy. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah. These are Marshall-y kind of knobs. Kind of cool. And they are full size. And then here, you can cycle through things if you don't like to use the touchscreen. But if you don't use the touchscreen, you're going to cycle your ass off. So let's say we go to, where's the amp? Down there in the chain. Click. And now we're on the amp. Now you can go through the whole thing. Let's say my preamp. Click on it, and now I can dial that in. Quicker way would be to go clicky on this, and then use it. Which is nice to be able to have that encoder, because pulling this back and forth is possible. It shows you very big what the parameter is, focuses on it. But really for fine-tuning, this is kind of nice. Okay, how do I get out of it? I'm going to have to, well, use a touchscreen. Okay. Let's stay with the hardware for now. In the back, we've got an in. I'm going there. We've got an expression. Let's not even go there. You can add a second expression pedal in addition to this one. Effects send and return, which means you can incorporate external effects, which you then could move anywhere in the chain. They will show up as a block. So anything like this can be an external effect. Easy. We're not going to go there. We've got too much stuff to cover. Back in the back. 2 outs, not XLR. That's why it's tiny. And then we got other little shit there. That's an aux in. That's a headphone out. Headphone out, aux in. Then tiny MIDI in and out. That is totally fine. So you can MIDI control this. USB, big USB, biggie thing. Primarily for updating. Because USB-B, that's what it's called. But that's really it. And you would say, well, but Henning, how do you get to the editor? Using the editor is nice. We have a whole section in this video about the editor. How do you get to it? It's fucking brilliant! I'll show you very quick. We're going to go to settings, right? And you're going to notice that there's a Wi-Fi setting. It's in my Wi-Fi. Why does it need Wi-Fi? I mean, it also has Bluetooth, so you can... I haven't even tried that. Very likely pump Bluetooth audio into it. Let's try this. I have not tried this. I mean, I've tried this in my other studio, in my other house, which is using the same Wi-Fi. I'm going to go here on the website, and I'm going to call this... I don't remember. I'll try. Headrush. It's so ridiculous that that works. Headrush Flex Prime. I mean, you know what the thing's called. It's called Headrush Flex Prime. You're right, this is one word. .local. There's your editor. I could go into this list now. Can make that bigger, right? I'll show you. Yeah. See? There's my... Why can't I resize it? It's not really mobile compatible, I think. And I'm just editing right here, but I made it too big. I think they need a mobile version of the editor. I mean, it works mobile. You can see I can change the presets. I can, within that preset, just turn things off and on. Don't know if you can see that. I can add an amp if I want to. It's not great on the phone, honestly. I think I'm not seeing everything here. So that needs a bit of an update, but I'll show you the editor later. It does not need to be downloaded. It does not need to be updated. It's just a web editor. And if you're on the Wi-Fi, and you can also, of course, connect Wi-Fi directly, wherever you are, you can edit it. You don't have to do all this, even though all this works. Before we go into some of the extra stuff, let's quickly go through how some of that works. I'm running directly into my audio interface. Let's leave it that big for now. So we're going to look at the amp right there. Oh, in and out, you can turn the tails off. And on the ins and out blocks, you can also change the routing. There's parallel routing. There's a lot of really advanced stuff. I'll show you some of that when we look at the editor because it's a little bit easier. But you can see now there's a chain and it splits up and you could have parallel amps left and right, different amps. We're going to do all of that later. So we're going to do the normal routing right now. So I clicked on the amp. And you get a double click to get there. That's the only thing that's a little bit finicky, getting that double click. In here, I can change my amp. You can see the list is way too big, right? There's way too many amps. Way too many. If I click on that, I can now change the amp out. So you can use amps that you set up in Revolver or Headrush. So there are Revolver amps. Look at all of those. Back to Headrush, Tweet Deluxe. But instead of an amp, you can go to amp clone, which is kind of a profiling thing, right? There's also pedal clones. Gonna do an amp and a cab. There aren't that many in there. But you can probably get 1 million on their cloud. So that's a profile now of an actual amp. But careful, I said amp and cab, which means the cab here, I'm going to have to turn off. Up there, okay. So now, we had 2 cabs. That's a horrible chord. So you can do the clone, but they also have a super clone. Double click. Change it to super clone. Load a super clone. Go to Headrush, amp and cab. Now what is super clone? Bing! Someone pings me. A super clone is, well, when you clone an amp or you profile an amp, you're profiling a setting, right? With the super clone, using the amp cloner software, which I will show you if I ever get it to install. I'm having some issues. You can clone it at low gain, medium gain, mid gain, a little bit more. So you're cloning all the different stages so that the software doesn't have to think what would happen if you crank up the gain. No, you're actually interpolating between the different profiles. So it's several profiles in one. But what you can also do is do a clean tweet, and then the next profile, the next super clone setting is a Marshall, and the next one is a cranked up rev. So that when you're actually going through the gain, you're gaining from a tweet sound to a Marshall to a rev. So you could create amps that have never existed. Really cool. So less gain. It sounds great. And of course, there's going to be a whole cloud of people uploading their own shit. So that's as far as the amps go. So let's say I want to kill something here, like the cab. You take it, you drag it down, and now the cab is gone because the cab is included in the super clone thing. So same thing for, let's say, this. What is this? It's a chorus. I turn that on. Let's say I don't want that. I want an overdrive. So I just exchanged it for an overdrive. Looks like there's a clone in there too. So let's change my scenes here. That would be my lead scene. You do that up here. Oop. Cancel. Where the stompy thing is. So I edit this scene to have... Let's see if that's true. So that's got the delay and the overdrive, and we'll change this rhythm thing here, which is wrong. We're not going to call that rhythm anymore. We're going to turn the green thing off and turn the K drive on. Okay, just to show you. So now this will turn the clone on. I did something wrong. I want that on, exactly. It was on no change, haha. So, clone. Green thing. Turn on and play. So, rather easy to do scenes. You could do a third one as well. So that's basic editing. Obviously, there's loads of effects and amps and all that stuff in there. And the amps can be Headrush amps, Revolver amps, which is software that they bought back in the day from PB, clones, and super clones. It's a lot of stuff. Let's get rid of this whole interface by getting rid of the whole thing. And let's really look at it. There you go. Well, before we go into even more stuff than just editing and all the amps and all that stuff. I mean, again, the double click is a little bit annoying. That's a detune, and you can see you have compressors, delays, reverbs, phaser flanger, vibe. Wow, there's a lot of synth stuff, which is really cool. Rhythmic thing, synthy things. I cannot possibly show you all that. Cab IR, Headrush cabs, Revolver apps, or IRs. Should we do this before we go into presets? Yes. So look, I don't know about the sample. Let's do this. There's lots of IRs in there, obviously. A lot. Way too many. The thing has 6 GB or whatever of internal storage. But how do you load an IR? It doesn't have a USB connection right now. It doesn't have an SD card slot. So I'm going to go load IR. So there are internal ones, and of course I could have internal ones. So Chop Tones apparently has a whole bunch of IRs in there. They work with Chop Tones. Okay, nice. I can load some. They're already in there. Matched ones to the amps. I could load those. User, I got none. And then, of course, the ones from Headrush. So there's a lot. But do you see the Dropbox thing? I synced this with Dropbox, took 2 minutes. Now, because it's on Wi-Fi, it knows my Dropbox. So somewhere here, Leslie Music, look, these are all of my private folders. Sully. Somewhere it says Hop Pole IR Mark II. So 212 Greenback. Look, there are the different IRs. Bambironi and could ask your mom, hey mom, can you put my IR pack that I forgot into my Dropbox? Or a buddy of yours, you put whatever you want in the Dropbox, and then wherever you've got Wi-Fi with that thing, you got your IRs. You could get a Flex Prime brand new from a shop somewhere, hook it up, and there's your presets, your IRs, everything gets Dropbox. Everyone else needs to freaking get on board with this shit. It's 2025. Your modeler, now it's Dropbox. Let's go into listening to some presets. It was too much of this guy talking. Okay, that was fun. More. Up here is save. This, you can just make a whole brand new one if you wanted that. No, should we? Discard. Brand new rig. Look, add. Amp. I want to, no, clone. Super clone. Super clone. Load super clone. I could load a super clone from a Dropbox if I had made any. If I could have gotten the software to work. They're working on it. That's a base. Now I want this. Load. Okay, so technically there's an amp with a cab. Yeah. Oh, nice. They have graphic EQs that automatically make things a certain way. Preset. Nice interface. Way cool. I just moved it. So, put blocks in there as you want. Okay, all understood. Up there's your rig. Here's your browser. Blocks, earbuds, responses, loops, practice tools. We're going to get to all that. You can save loops, of course. Here are your rigs, you know, import new rigs, whatever. And of course, I could have all of this in a Dropbox. Set lists, super clones. Get it? It's a computer. That's what it is. Set lists, we talked about that. We're not going to go into it. You can make set lists for your gigs. Hardware sound, we've already done. The tuner, you can access a different way as well by holding the foot switch. We talked about this. Metronome, yeah, if you want that. There's a metronome, different sounds, levels, all that stuff. Don't ask me how you turn it on. Looper, we've looked at it. We're not going to look at it any further. USB transfer, if you wanted to transfer things, not with the Dropbox, but with the USB transfer, that is possible. Can lock the screen, good idea. For a gig, here's a global EQ. Why would you want that? Well, what if you're going into an FRFR cabinet and that whole cabinet just sounds too damn bright? Well, in that case, you're using the global EQ to just, for everything that you set up at home, you don't want to go through every single preset, to just get it a little bit darker in the top end. So it makes total sense. Then firmware update, you understand, you put it in firmware update mode. Here as you can change the graphics of the rig. Do you want to confirm saves or not? Otherwise, you know, I always had to say yes, yes, yes. You can turn that off. Auto assigning foot switches when you're adding blocks. Add a cab automatically makes sense. Tempo LED, foot switch functions. When you're kicking down or going up. Whoa. Tells you the storage, 5.22 gig left. Wow, okay? Loads of shit. No, that's not all of it. How are you going? In, guitar, or the return? Depends on the rig. Gives you two inputs, I think. And those are levels, Bluetooth, audio, Wi-Fi we already talked about. It's on my network. USB audio. Yes, obviously, it's an audio interface. Do you want to set that up at 44, 48, or 96? It's got MIDI. MIDI is good. How do you want to set up the expression pedal? Well, no, on or off. Before we get to the practice tool and the cloud, and I think then we're done, let's look at that HTML-based web browser editor that needs no downloading. Way cool. So we're now in the editor, and it couldn't be easier. You put the Headrush into your Wi-Fi network by going to Wi-Fi settings and just dialing into the Wi-Fi network. And my computer's in the Wi-Fi network, as is my phone. I could access this from the phone, from Safari or Google Chrome or whatever. So you go into the address bar and you say Headrush flexprime.local. If you've got a Prime, it would be this. But .local, and then bam, it shows up. And anything you do on the actual unit, which you can't see right now, it's right in front of me, it will immediately show up. You can see, I can turn the drive on and off. I can change to that, and then on my Headrush it changes. All these very evil synthes. Or pretty synthes. So pretty cool synth stuff, but let's go back to something more straightforward. This is a pretty straightforward rock sound. So with the editor, you can do all of that, of course, on the unit, but you are a bit quicker. So we have a gate here. So you click on it, and then on the right, you can quickly change the settings. On the left are presets. And here we got a whammy, that's off, and that's a greener. So double click and it turns on. That's a different kind of green thing. And you adjust it, level, drive, very simple. You can even change the color there. So double click, chorus. Phase. And all of these, of course, you could put into scenes as well. Here's my amp, which in this case is a PV6505 lead. But of course, we can go and change that as well. That's a revolver amp. Of course, you know, it's got different it's got models and then revolver and then clones and then super clones. So let's kill that. How do I kill this amp? Drag it down. Haven't done this. We click on plus. We go on clone. So amp clone, load amp clone. We go to Headrush. I don't have any user stuff in there. And we want an amp or preamp. We have a cab in there, so we're going to do that. What do we have? What's the Terrier? VH Terrier, I don't know. That's a... it shows up as a pedal? It's a bit weird that it shows up as a pedal. So let's kill that. I say kill it, that's a bit mean. Amp clone, load amp clone, Headrush. It's probably a preamp. So we're gonna go to... not that many in here. Angel Invasion, that's probably an angle. Which means we're gonna have to disable the cab. Because it has a cab in it, right? Whatever, that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Easy. We have a tape echo. With a bit much mix. And there are presets for all the different boxes as well. So you could have a preset for the amp and so on and so on. That's the volume pedal. So if I move that, you can actually see. So I'm moving it on the actual device and you can see the volume doing its thing. So if we wanted to change the routing of this, we will go here. It's a straight path, split in the middle split 533, blah, blah, different kind of splitties. So now we got the split, and I actually have, that's not a good idea. We have the amp, tape echoes here. So I could actually have, let's get rid of this and put this tape echo here. That's how easy that is. Gonna do a super clone. No idea if it can do that. Amp and cap. We're going to put the Morgan AC20 here. So we have an amp and another amp in parallel now. So I could actually get that angle kind of in the background. Because it's a parallel mix. If I go on mix, oh look, you actually can, I don't really have to change the level here. You go on mix, and now we can actually pan them. Obviously, it makes way more sense for this to be something more high gainy. So that's really, really, really fast to do different kind of layouts as far as routing goes. We can go back to that signal path and then get rid of this. It's really fast, and you do not need to download an editor and then update your editor when you update the Headrush. It's accessible through the Wi-Fi network, wherever you are. So in your practice room, you could probably make your phone your Wi-Fi network and then access it directly from there. Add something. Look, you have all these things. You can add an effects loop because it has an in and out. And look, it shows up as neat little pedals. What is that? Here. Anyway, that's the editor, and it's rather impressive how easy it is, how straightforward everything. I mean, if you go to foot switcher signs, look, you can edit the scenes just like this. So it's quite a bit easier than doing it on the touchscreen, but of course, you can do it on the touchscreen. Getting your thingy to do what it's supposed to do, here are set lists, is rather straightforward, and again, can do it from a phone, from a laptop, from an iPad, anything that can go on a web page. No editor necessary. Do it from your iPad. Bam, done. Because it's a web-based editor that doesn't require any installation. That's how you freaking do it. Okay, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Cloud. I mean, it's got... No, I'm not in the cloud. This is a bit tiny. You know, I don't have huge hands. So I'm signed into the... Oh, God. You push on the thing and frickin' Fricka shows up. Who wants that? Me, I'm his friend. We like each other. So that's the featured one, I think. You have to, of course, sign into the Headrush ecosystem. Give him a stool sample. I don't know. It's pretty easy. We can click on Browse. And that gives us a lot of content. Ambient swell. That sounds like a good thing. Let's get there. Come on. Ambient swell. You can like it. We can actually just... What the... I want to play it. Is that how that works? I think so. That's how you audition. And you can see people have put a lot of shit in there. Test. Oh, yeah, what What am I going to do with test? My content, there is none, because I haven't uploaded any content. But when you go to featured, you've got some people, job tones, all these people that you're supposed to know. Tracy Guns. There's some stuff about Tracy. Let's see what Tracy's got. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. Let's listen to Glenn's. This is his Bad Cat Links, which might be without a cap. I don't know. Yeah, because Glenn always does shit without a cap. Glenn, stop doing that. Makes no sense. I have a links too. Not brag, I'm just saying. Nearly, she can freaking... Have you seen that woman play? Ooh, I like that. Clean, space clean rig. That's clean. So I downloaded this, and now it's, I don't know where. It just added it to the end of my rig chain. And there we go. And now you can tweak it to your heart's delight. To get back to the beginning. Last thing, practice tool. This thing is so tiny, you could easily, runs on, I don't know how many volts. Is that 9? I don't think so. As if I can read what that is. It's so tiny you can easily throw that into your gig bag. It is tinier than a lot of the competition. Well, hot tone, more, I get it. But it is among the smaller ones, and within its size, definitely one of the more powerful ones. So here's a practice tool, which has no audio in it. How do you load audio into it? I've never done this. So what was the key on that? I don't know. Did you get it? It's a practice tool. I'm practicing. Get it? I figured out it's in D minor. Well, kind of. So I only want to see this bit. Perfect. does extremely good pitch shifting, extremely good speed shifting. I'd spend $50 just on that. I spend $100. I have spent $100 on tools like this, and it's included. You want to figure out a solo? Bam, your guitar's not an E flat. Bam, 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 bam. You get it? And it's I just got this from Dropbox. Oh, it's also a modeler. That sounds good. Get rid of this, Leslie. Bring the whole thing back. We're gonna say goodbye to the nice people. I have to admit, I was always skeptical about Headrush because of my first impression many years ago. Many things have happened in between. Oh, look, it's got a looper, it's got a tuner, it's got a setlist mode, it's got revolver amps, Headrush amps, profiled clone amps, super profiled clone amps. It's got the practice mode. It's got Dropbox connectivity. It's got an editor that you don't have to download. It needs to work better on mobile. It's got loads of effects. It's easy to edit on a computer without a cable. It's really small. It's got the same processing power as the big ones. Clocks in at what, 550? Am I remembering this correctly? I think it is. $495. Okay, look, it's... Don't have to say anything anymore. I'm honest. I never considered the Headrush stuff to be too competitive with the rest. Au contraire, I have been schooled. I put links below to all the applicable shops. Also subscribe. Why haven't you, ya bastard? Please do. And animals at the end.
Guess that's just married life. Small imperfections amount to sublime. So we better hold on tight. There's no one I'd rather have here by my side. I guess it's just clock